Let the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, my strength, and you are my Redeemer. Amen. Trying to contain myself, and I don't know why, but certainly I love the Spirit of God as it does what it wants to do. And we thank God for that. So we'll do as much as we can do. And if he decides he wants to let us, we'll just let him go ahead and do that. So I have a lot prepared because you deserve that. But you may have to forgive me if he just gets loose in my spirit. Let me give you this piece of scripture. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 begins like this. It says, "Finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." It says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Paul goes on and says, "We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day." I'm going to stop in the middle of this sentence. "And having done all to stand," you ought to just stand.
Amen.
Purpose and persistence. Purpose and persistence. Thinking through what we talked about last time, first thing was purpose and presence. Do you remember that if you were here? Talked about Moses and the fact that the first thing that you need to be considerate of when you're thinking of purpose is to just be present. That you have to have some kind of focus. We saw Moses in Exodus chapter 3. We saw Moses' experience with the burning bush. And one of the first things that we saw was that God interacts with him after he turns to look and investigate. In other words, he sees where God is and he goes towards that. We realize first that God knows where we are. He knows what we're struggling with. He knows our ups, our downs, our comings, our goings, our ins, our outs. He knows all of that. What he seeks from us is that we would seek him. And so we saw Moses seeking him by investigating that burning bush, and then his attention is God, and then he is told to take off his shoes because he's standing on holy ground. And there begins this interaction when he first becomes present. And so understanding his purpose first began with him simply focusing and being present to hear God. First step of finding purpose then is to be present so you can hear what God has to say to you. Because he has a very specific work for you. Now, when we think of Moses, we see that God equipped him for the challenge that he was to face. He entrusts Moses to be a leader and to go to Pharaoh and to advocate beyond advocating and to demand the release of the Israelites despite all of Moses' issues. Moses couldn't talk right. He was a loner. He was from the people, but not of the people. Right? He was one of them, yet he wasn't raised with them. And so now here's one who was in the palace of Pharaoh, returning now to the people that he had been separated from, to lead them away from the people from whom he had been raised with. And he's got a real challenge in terms of who he is. And so when we think about him being in leadership and him first being present with God and getting God's message about his purpose, we see God using a person who does not have what appears to be the skill set to live within the context of the purpose that God has laid out for him. But Moses has a unique quality that nobody else seems to have, and that is that he knows how to be present with God. He knows how to be present with God. But now we come to this place, this juncture in time, where he has a job to do. But purpose alone and presence alone won't get it done, because there must be some persistence. There must be some continual drive forward. In other words, this place where you are may not be an easy place. We've communed with God and we know how to seek him and to be present with him, but here is where purpose takes a left turn. Because what God has decided your purpose is, or what it is that you want to do or need to do, is not so easy. On the eve of this celebration of the life and contribution of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it seems right to introduce this theme of persistence, does it not?
Amen.
I mean, imagine for a moment fighting for something that virtually an entire society believed to be inviolable, pointless, an establishment that stands against the vision that you have conceived. Imagine championing a cause that seemed more hopeless every single day. Imagine your words falling lifelessly on deaf ears and being written off as manifestations of lunacy, just another crazy person speaking in the wind. And see, for Dr. King, though, these are not things that he had to imagine. This was his everyday existence.
Amen. Amen.
That you're crazy, that society's not built that way. The things that you want won't happen. And yet, he is called upon to still be persistent.
Amen.
How strange it may seem now that his vision is that we would live in a society where everybody was treated equally despite or without consideration for their race. That wouldn't be an issue. What I looked like, where I came from, who my father was, what my background was. His vision was a society bonded not by differences, but by commonality and peace. But it wasn't easy. Just like Moses' mission wasn't easy. He was involved in boycotts and marches and rallies and everything else. And in the vein of all of this that stood against him, physically challenged, verbally annihilated, people around him hurt and injured and killed and ultimately assassinated himself, he remains persistent. With his purpose, he remains persistent. The key to the success of the civil rights movement is not solely held in the existence of a vision, but more importantly, in the persistence of the vision.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. You see, there's some people who love not only what Calvary Baptist Church was, not only what Calvary Baptist Church is, but what Calvary Baptist Church will be. And so they are persistent in their vision. They keep coming, they keep calling, they keep praying, they keep cooking, they keep being willing, they keep working and working because they are persistent in their vision. Even their very words are not condemning, but more so optimistic about the reality of what can be.
That's all right.
In other words, Paul in Ephesians speaks from this concept that so much can be against you. And you can even get to the point where you think you have done everything that you can to stand. And he said, when you get to that point, when you've done everything, when you have said every word, when you pray every prayer, when you have done everything you can, do it again. Keep going, keep pushing. You've been to the hospital, you prayed for your loved one, you continue to pray, and it seems like there's no change, and you're tired of being there, and you've given, and you've given, and you pushed, and you pushed. When you get to that point, keep doing it. Keep doing it. The key, though, to this ability to be persistent in your purpose is solely and directly connected to your faith.
Amen.
Can I get a witness? I'll say it again. Your ability to be persistent in your purpose is directly connected to your faith in God Himself. When I thought this through, I said maybe I should go to Job, because Job had his whole life taken away from him. Had his whole life repossessed. Imagine that. Your life repossessed. Your life repossessed. Not only your possessions, but your health itself. Your life repossessed. And then in Job 13:15, he makes a crazy statement in the context of the repossession of everything. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. But I will maintain my own ways before him. The key to that persistent purpose is your faith. Look at the life of Joseph. Read the book of Genesis, you'll see Joseph all through that latter portion. Hated by his brothers. Given to die. Made a slave. Comes up out of nothing to something. Comes from no control to all control. Remembered his family. See, there's a certain kind of faith that is persistent. And that faith is not shaken by adversity. A persistent faith is not shaken by adversity. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Instead of saying, everything is against me, everything is wrong with me, I'm not going to make it, things aren't going to work out for me. Instead of having that attitude, Joseph had a Romans 8:31 attitude. He had the type of attitude that said, what then shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? And so he walked with that type of faith. You see, the key to purpose and persistence is a faith that does not waver. A faith that does not flee. A faith that can be depended upon. A faith that can be called upon. A faith that is real, that is tangible, that is shareable. Dr. King said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. So once your purpose is revealed to you, you can't believe that it's all going to come easy. God is with you, but he's also placed people in your pathway to help get you to the place you need to get to. I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it another way for some who really need to get it. God places people in your pathway to help you get to where he wants you to get. It doesn't matter how hard the hills are or how tough it is to climb them. He puts people along the way who will help you get to where you need to get to. In 1930, Waddy Piper put it like this, wrote a children's story. Stands the test of time. Story kind of goes like this. There was a little steam engine that needed to get over a hill. You remember that? Got to the hill, and what was on the other side was where she needed to get to. Story says she pulled and she pulled, and she puffed and she puffed, and she backed up and started over again, and she would get a running start. But as hard as she tried, she could not get over the hill. And she thought, surely I can find somebody to help me get over this hill. And here comes big, strong steam engine. She says, will you help me over the hill with my train of cars? It's so long and heavy I can't get over. But the big steam engine said, don't you see that I am through my day's work? I've been rubbed and scoured. I'm ready for my next one. I can't help you. Second steam engine was there and answered, I've just come from a long, long run. Don't you see how tired I am? Can't you get somebody else to help you? And she said, I'll try. After a while, though, this is the key. She came across a little steam engine that was just like her. I wish you knew that God can use broken people. Amen. I wish you knew that God can use people just like me, just like you, with all my faults, all my shortcomings, all the things that are wrong with me. But he can bring somebody to partner with me And she said, will you help me over the hill with my long train of cars? And that little Indian that was just like her said, I'll help you. I'll be glad to help you. And so they got together. And when they got together, and they started chugging together, slowly the cars began to move. And that idea of I'm not worthy, I can't make it, I'm too short, I'm too this, I'm too that, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough means, that went out the window, because together their I think I can became I think I can. I think I can. If I'm persistent and I engage teamwork, I think I can, and together they're able to make it over that hill. When they get over on the other side, I think I can turn to I thought I could to I knew I would, and now I have made it. But I've got to be persistent with my faith. A persistent faith isn't shaken by adversity. A persistent faith, it's not spoiled by success. It doesn't mean that when I get there, I forget about everything and I've made it. A persistent faith, it's not moved by temptation. It can't be torn apart by things that are going on. A persistent faith, it's not disturbed by false accusations or people talking about it or hating. It's not moved by that. A persistent faith, it's not influenced by human reasoning, because it doesn't have anything to do with logic. It has everything to do with God. Persistent faith, it's not confined by time and space. It may take me longer than it takes you, but I've got to keep on pushing. You may have graduated in 3 years, and it may have taken me 5 years, but the fact is we graduated. We may not get there together, but the fact is we're going to get there. Persistent faith keeps pushing, keeps trying, keeps loving, keeps moving. A persistent faith is still willing throughout adversity. I wish you would understand this, that first thing in terms of your purpose is to be present with God, to commune with Him, to hear Him, to shut down everything and allow Him to speak to you and let Him say to you what He wants you to do. But then understand this, what He says to do may not jive with your reasoning. No, it may not be reasonable to spend your lifetime building an ark. Jonah, it may not be reasonable to you to go to Nineveh and preach. It may not be reasonable to you. But understand that if God has a plan for your life, He is as committed to you as you will be to Him. Yes, He is as committed to you as you are to Him. And so when you keep pushing, He's right alongside. When you keep pulling, He's right alongside. When you keep praying, He's there to answer. He said, if you seek my face, turn from your wicked ways, then you'll hear from heaven. I'll turn things around for you when you turn yourself to me. Let me close here. I love this song. All right. And Donnie McClurkin writes, he said, what do you do when you've done all you can? Yeah. Seems like you can't make it through. Seems like it's never enough. Well, what do you say when your friends turn away and you're all alone? What do you do when you've given your all and it seems like you can't make it through? He says, just stand. Stand when there's nothing left to see you through after you've done all you can. You just stand. You just keep on standing. You keep praying. You keep moving. You put your feet where they're supposed to be. You turn yourself in the direction of God after you've done all you can. Stand. Stand.